Welcome to ESPN College Football presented by Vizio. We join you today from Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia. On Sundays, home to the Eagles, and on Saturdays, home to the Temple Owls, who at 2-2 play host to the Houston Cougars, 2-1 as they lift the lid on American Conference play. Mike Cousins and John Congemi, so glad you could be here with us as we get to bring you one of the most exciting defensive players in all of college football.
And Mike, that's Houston's defensive tackle, Ed Oliver, and arguably he's one of the most dominant defenders in the country. He's 6'3", 290 pounds, and this sophomore is a run stopper and a pass rusher. There's not much he can't do. He reminds me a lot of the Los Angeles Rams defensive tackle and former Pitt Panther Aaron Donald, because he's strong enough to handle the double teams on the inside, but fast enough to track down running backs and quarterbacks from behind. Offensive lines, especially today, a beat-up Temple offensive line, they must identify his location on every snap.
A couple of starters out along the line for the Owls. At the helm for Houston, his first year as the head coach after 2 as their offensive coordinator, Major Applewhite, the 39-year-old, originally from Baton Rouge. And while we thought during the week that he'd give the nod to Kyle Allen, the transfer from Texas A&M, as the starter, today it's Kyle Postma, the senior from Katy, Texas, with his second start for the Cougars.
And for the senior quarterback for Postma, 2 jobs today that are paramount. He must take care of the football, #1, and get this offense in the end zone. If not, you may see Kyle Allen back in the football game as this moves along.
A little bit of uncertainty on both sides. That quarterback. Applewhite was at Texas for quite some time, his alma mater, and Geoff Collins in year #1, the 46-year-old from Conyers, Georgia. Temple won the toss, and they elect to take the ball. And the kickoff from Caden Novikov is out of bounds, his second kickoff out of bounds this year. Not an optimal start to the day for sure.
And for an offense that has struggled, especially last week against South Florida, Temple's going to have excellent field position to start this football game.
Which is what they'll want, especially coming off of a tough week where they played last Thursday against South Florida and lost that game. Logan Marshy, the redshirt sophomore from Bristol, Connecticut, gets the call. Starting field position at midfield. You can't ask for a much better leg up to start a day than that.
This might alter the first play call of the game. Normally you're pretty conservative coming out of your own end, but with great field position, let's see what this Temple offense does.
They run on first down and pick up about 5 yards with Raquel Armstead, the junior from Millville, New Jersey, who last year split time in the backfield with Jihad Thomas. But expect to see #7 there get a ton of carries today with just 2 active scholarship running backs. He and David Hood. Jagger Gardner, another mainstay in their backfield, is out with an injury today. Now to the air on second down and to the perimeter for Ventel Bryant, who makes the catch, and a first down, gain of 9.
Exactly what this offense needed. Great field position, a good run on first down, a clean pocket to throw from for the first attempt of this afternoon. This is what Temple wants to do because they have 2 guards that are starting inside their former backups.
Their numbers have not been great this year. A high arcing pass goes to Armstead. He can't get it, and it falls incomplete. John, you talked about the offensive line for Temple. They're down a couple of starters. Jovan Fair, who's missing his 2nd straight game at left guard, is getting replaced by Adrian Sullivan. And then Brian Carter at right guard is out today as well, spelled by Jalen Robinson. So some different fixtures in there, and we'll see how that impacts them throughout the day. 2nd and 10, turning the corner, Isaiah Wright gets the carry for Temple.
Good team speed from this Houston defense, especially the front 7. They all run very well. Isaiah Wright trying to get to the edge, but that Houston defensive speed kind of sets the edge and kicks right back to the inside for a minimal gain.
Wright is a wide receiver, at least on the roster, but we expect to see him, from what the Temple staff has said, in a variety of ways today. And now they shift things around. Isaiah Wright goes from wide receiver into a direct snap position, taken off to the right side. And breaking through, he's got the first down. So some unconventional play. They needed 3, and they got 4 behind the sophomore.
A nice wrinkle added during the week by this Temple offense, and offensive coordinator Dave Pattenud. They want to get their playmakers touching the football and want to get them involved. The easiest way is to snap it to right in that wildcat formation.
From the 25-yard line, Armstead gets to the line, and not much more. And John, another thing that, as we spoke with Dave Pattenud, the offensive coordinator for Temple yesterday, was trying to figure out just how to get the ball away from Ed Oliver.
That's tough to do because he's everywhere. And I think the toughest job on the field today will be center Matt Hennessy. He's a good player, going to be a great player. The Temple coaches love him, but he's going to have his hands full snapping the ball with consistency and being able to handle Oliver.
Marshy has the pocket hold up, and inside the 10-yard line, his pass is complete. Isaiah Wright playing a big role on this opening drive for Temple.
Well, the Owls have done a good job snapping it to right. This time they throw it to right, and Matt Hennessy does a great job up front containing Ed Oliver in the pass rush. He's going to be right over the center, and watch Hennessy do a terrific job of pass protection, gives his quarterback Marshy plenty of time to deliver on time.
The 8th play of the drive, and it gets blown up in the backfield as Wright goes down, as Khalil Williams, the outside linebacker, came through and dropped him.
This is where the Houston defense gets very stingy. They're 15th in the country in red zone defense and keeping the opponents out of the end zone. If they can force a field goal here for the Owls, that's a win by Houston and their defense.
Marshy looks, pumps, now delivers toward the end zone. And incomplete, too much for Bryant on 2nd down. Here comes 3rd and goal for Temple.
So tough to run a hesitation move, an out and up or a slant and go down here in the red zone, especially when the ball is close to the 10-yard line. Not a whole lot of room to throw the football in the back of the end zone. So you're going to have to fit the football into tight windows in the passing game if you're Logan Marshy.
Now they've got big wide receivers to the top of your screen. Kirkwood at 6'3", Wright at 6'2", and Jennings at 6'3". Plenty of options. The Cougars bring a 4-man rush. Marshy back to his 25. Now turns further back. Ripped down. He throws it up in the air. And it's down to the 25-yard line. Constant retreat on 3rd and goal, and a once promising drive has sputtered out.
The mistake you make as a redshirt sophomore quarterback sometimes, you try to make a play when there isn't one. Right now, you try to throw the football away and kick the field goal, but if you continue to hold it, you're going to get a sack or you're going to get a loss of 25 yards. This time, the ball goes all the way back to the 36-yard line, and it's a loss of 25 yards on the play, so you're out of field goal range for the Temple Owls.
And it was just moments ago, just plays ago, that Isaiah Wright had made that catch inside the 10-yard line. So they send themselves backwards, and Alex Starzyk, the punter, is on to kick it away.
Well, you start the drive at the 50-yard line, you get it to 1st and goal, and it's a total gain of 14 yards on the drive.
They nabbed it at the 5-yard line. 31-yard kick, nicely executed. You're watching the American Athletic Conference on ESPN. Along with John Kajemi, Mike Cousins, we welcome you back to the first quarter in Philadelphia. Logan Marshy and the Temple Owls had 1st and goal. They took a 25-yard loss on 3rd down, and they end up with no points after the drive. Kyle Postma, the senior from Katy, Texas, gets the start today for Houston, and he goes to the air, finds Linnell Bonner on 1st down. A late switch at quarterback. We thought it was going to be Kyle Allen. leads the nation in completion percentage. Instead, it's Postma, who last week got some mop-up duty against the Red Raiders of Texas Tech.
And played well. Led Houston to a couple of scores and had a chance to win the game in the end. Gave his offense an opportunity. I would look for him to hook up with Bonner a lot today.
Passing on first down. Linnell Bonner has the catch from Postma.
Good execution on first down by Houston, and watch the tempo of this offense. They will go fast. They have different gears. They want to keep the pressure on this Owls defense.
Dylan Burden gets the carry and bursts through the middle for a first down and more, dragging defenders across the 40-yard line. 14 yards on the ground.
Talking with defensive coordinator Taver Johnson yesterday, they want to make sure they get off of blocks and tackle and split in space. That time they didn't get off the blocks at the line of scrimmage.
Set up the pass right and run to the left. Nice tackle coming off the defensive line as Freddie Booth Lloyd brings Postma to the ground. He's been a big part of their defensive line. 4th most sacks in FBS. But part of that, you look at what their schedule has looked like, and they've played UMass, they played Villanova, so 2 non-FBS opponents there for Temple. Games, or rather I should say 1 there, with UMass being in the FBS, but not Villanova. So their numbers should take a jump there.
And they've been able to create havoc with tackles for loss that sets up the rotation of this Temple defense. They'll rotate 8-10 guys along that defensive front to protect the young linebacking core.
3rd down and 6. 4-man rush. Postma stands tall, goes across the middle, and finds Bonner, a leading receiver in the American, across the middle for a first down, 8 yards for the senior.
And this is where Houston might go over the top and take a shot here.
Instead, quickly to the flat. The ball bobbled by Duke Catalon, the former Texas running back. Incomplete pass on first down.
I like Bonner in this offense, and he's been able to get 3 catches under his belt today. But you can see during the season, 9 catches against Arizona, 10 for 132 against Rice, and then Texas Tech, the touchdown on 7 receptions.
He's leading the league coming into play today, averaging 9 yards a catch. 2nd and 10 for Postma and the Cougars. The Owls show just 1 deep safety. Burden on the ground, and it'll be another 3rd down with some distance for Houston.
This has been the Bonner down. This is where you go to 15. He's in the slot at the top of the screen. That Postma to Bonner connection.
They caught him jumping. He looks down the sideline, and that is a grab down inside the 30-yard line. Great footwork by Stephen Dunbar to go up and get it. Big target at 6'3".
Offsides. Defense, number 9. Penalties decline. Result of the play, first down.
Great job by Kyle Postma to be able to use that snap count, and then he goes up. And you mentioned the frame at 6'3" on Dunbar for 17 yards. He uses all of that catch radius to go up and snag this football.
He's got Dunbar to the bottom of the screen. Now De'Aaron King on the end around with open space, and he's into the end zone. Houston gets the first score of the day from 13 yards out, and the Cougars lead 6-zip on the road.
Offensive coordinator Brian Johnson dialing this one up. Looks like it's going to be sweep to the right. They get it to their playmaker, the sophomore King, who goes in untouched for the first points of the game.
De'Aaron King, who played quarterback in the spring and in preseason practice, has become a weapon, and a multifaceted one at that, for Houston. Caden Novikov with the extra point. A fake to the right and then speed to the left. The sophomore, Texas-born, makes it 7-0 Houston. Houston goes up 7-0 on the run from 13 yards out by De'Aaron King, the former quarterback turned do-it-all wide receiver here for Houston. 80 yards on the drive. And Caden Novikov gets set to put it in the air. Walk on, joined the team in the spring, won the kicking battle in the fall. Mike Jones takes it from the 5-yard line. Up the sideline, withstands one big hit and gets out to the 27-28-yard line. Going left and going nowhere. Armstead is driven back, met at the 20-yard line. And a loss of 5 for the Owls on first down with no Ed Oliver on the field. And now the big man, nose tackle, is back out onto the field.
We saw Peyton Turner, the defensive end, go upfield to make a play, and he says, you know, I'm going to go out and congratulate him, maybe come back to the sidelines, wait another play. Those guys are having some fun on defense.
So he stays out. His backup, Emil Fleming, 6'3", 290, stays in. Off the back foot, and a throw to the sideline. Falls incomplete. Here comes another 3rd and long. There is a flag on the play.
There's no foul for ineligible receiver downfield.
Well, most defensive coordinators would tell you most plays there is an eligible
That's right. That 3 yards is extended sometimes. You know, you have to give credit to this Houston defensive front. Without Ed Oliver, they've been able to create a couple of tackles for loss, pressure in the pocket. Now 3rd and very long for the Owls.
Flushed in the throw to the sideline. Incomplete. Great pressure along the outside. Isaiah Johnson getting mixed up with Adonis Jennings and helping prevent the catch.
Mike, when you pressure the pocket and that ball has to come out early, you can break on it as a DB. This is a terrific job of closing the cushion by Isaiah Johnson, and he almost comes up with a pick 6.
So Starzyk to punt again. McDowell back at the 34. It's been a high number of plays already here in the first quarter, John, where Marshy has had to throw off his back foot.
Yeah, you got to credit the pressure Houston's been able to create, and as a result, they're going to get pretty good field position.
So after the punt, nice starting field position as De'Ara King joins in the backfield. And on the carry, it's Postma. So, John, take me through exactly what Houston is looking to achieve here. The last couple snaps we saw of the last drive, along with that play, De'Ara King either bringing him in the backfield or sending him in motion as a decoy. What are the Cougars setting up?
He's a magnet. All eyes are on 4 when he's around the football, so you can give it to him on the end around and make Temple cover the entire field.
Nice grab by Dunbar, who has been an early popular target for Postma.
I think that's the biggest thing, Mike, is you move around your playmakers and you make Temple run sideline to sideline. That'll allow Kyle Postma in the quarterback run a little bit more room between the tackles.
Just one incomplete pass for Postma for 43 yards. Working with a 7-0 lead. Right through the middle, nowhere to go for Burden. Started out his college career at Blinn Junior College, and then was a cornerback for some time for Houston. That ended up with the most rushing touchdowns on the team. With just a minute to go here in the first quarter, as Kyle Allen looked like he was going to be the starter this week, watches from the sideline. Postma flushed out. He throws to the sideline, and the ball is dropped. Great throw. Keith Corbin couldn't hang on.
Corbin looked like he was going to make the catch, and a good job by Postma. There's blitz from the short side. They're bringing pressure in the pocket. He escapes, and he's able to throw a very accurate football, but the pressure, the constant pressure on the edge, I think really maybe even tipped the football and force the incompletion.
3 down linemen. On the inside screen, it's Dunbar who makes the catch. picks up the first down and more, and is brought down by the cornerback Mike Jones inside the 30-yard line. He gets 18 on the play.
Well, and let's credit the center, Will Noble. He gets out in front of Dunbar and does an excellent job. The center's going to go left with the left guard, and he's a main reason why he's able to get that first down. He gets that second block to allow Dunbar to move the football inside the 30.
Quickly back to work. The toss is to Catalan, the running back, who then loses it out of bounds as he goes inside the 10-yard line.
Temple has youth on the defense, and it's at the linebacker position. So with Bradley now out of the game, you're going to have to really rely on that rotation up front.
And we were getting set for a little bit of an interesting play there as well, with Postma, the quarterback, coming off the field, and De'Ara King getting set to perhaps take a snap. Hey, you got moves? Show them off. Second quarter coming up from Philly. Houston on the move, but Temple's Geoff Collins has lost his starting middle linebacker for the game. To end the first quarter, they had put number 4, who's in the slot, De'Ara King, at quarterback. Now Postma is going to take it on the run and bounces forward for a gain of 1 for Houston.
Here's your Wildcat formation, Mike, you were talking about at the end of the first quarter.
And it's quickly to the line. King takes it to the left side. His cutback lane is shut down. The Owls were ready and waiting.
Great recognition by the Temple Owls defense. Short side of the field. They get pinned up top, but pursuit from the inside. Kwenku, the linebacker, is there first for the Owls.
So Novikov is on for the try. His misses this year have been long, from 38 and 46. This is a short one. 26-yard, or rather 25-yard try. So 10-0 Houston. Jones takes it out across the 30-yard line up to the 35. Against a 4-man rush, and they find just a simple play there. Ventel Bryant on the outside makes the catch. That's the type of play that they're looking for, just a real short completion.
That's a good start for offensive coordinator Dave Patnood, because he wants to play fast, but he needs to complete those easy throws. The ones that are gimmies on the outside. That's where Marshy needs to be able to be accurate on time, and he has to have some help from his friends on the outside to break a tackle to get to those explosive plays.
Marshy here has time and goes across the middle. Leaping grab. Caught by Randall Jones. Gets Temple a first down near midfield. He picks up 16 yards.
Best throw of the afternoon by Logan Marshy. That was right on time, on target, and Randall Jones comes through with the catch.
Similarly to Houston, Temple wants to get quickly back to the line of scrimmage after a big play. That was their longest of the day. Marshy's got to make a strong throw toward the sideline, and does. Keith Kirkwood, another first down for the Owls as he goes to the 36-yard line.
When you can repeat positive plays, that's where you get success, and you can go faster as an offense. That one for 15 yards.
The Owls now on first down after the catch by Kirkwood, empty out the backfield. Another quick short throw, and it's through the hands of Isaiah Wright. You talk about time commitment to be not only a dad and a head coach. We get the pleasure and the privilege to meet with these coaching staffs before every game. We go to Geoff Collins' office yesterday, and he puts down on the table in his office,
not one,
not two,
but three.
3 cell phones for Geoff Collins. The life of a college football coach in 2017.
I thought he was kidding around in the beginning, and then he told us what every phone was for, and You know, as a college coach, you're a CEO of a major institution.
Deep throw, sideline for Temple. And it's down to the 6-yard line. Kirkwood does it again. 2 huge grabs on the drive.
Well, now the Temple offense waking up, and it's through the arm of Marshy. Good adjustment on the football by Kirkwood. We were just talking about him. It goes for 30. Now the Owls in the red zone inside the 10 at the 6-yard line.
The receiver's knee touched out of bounds first. Therefore, we have an incomplete pass. It'll be 3rd down and 10 on the 36-yard line.
Well,
Clock
Mike,
will
I
start
didn't
on the
see,
snap.
I didn't see that one. Looks like the right foot hits before the left knee. I thought the left knee and actually the left foot hits before the left knee. There's the catch there, and it looks clearly that he's dragging his right foot before the left knee touches out of bounds. So I disagree with that call.
I'm with you. If the foot's touching down, he's got control of the ball, and then the knee hits.
Yes, I think that's a clean catch, and I think Temple didn't go in their favor on that one for sure.
So it takes away a 30-yard gain from Kirkwood. And instead of 1st and goal at the 6, it's 3rd and 10 at the 36. Hit as he throws down the sideline, and the pass is intercepted. Houston coming back the other way. A game-changing review on the catch. That wasn't a catch by Kirkwood.
It looked like Joel Williams comes in from the backside and hits Marshy just as he's ready to heave this football into the end zone, and it alters the ball. He pump fakes, and there's the hit there by Williams from the backside. It alters the pass right into the arms of Garrett Davis, his 2nd interception of the 2017 season. And as you mentioned, the play before, Temple goes 30 yards down the field. It gets reviewed, it goes back, and now it's Houston's football at the 35-yard line.
King comes into the backfield, and it's a run up the middle. Postma ahead to the 42, gets 7 yards on 1st down. Last week was not a banner week against Texas Tech. -4 for turnovers. And still just a close margin at the end of the game. King coming out of the backfield. Not enough to get the job done on 2nd down. But Postma again led the couple of scoring drives late in that game against Texas Tech last week. That earned him good reviews from his coaching staff. And he just goes on the ground here, gets a 1st down, and then more across the 40 inside the 30 with blocking out in front. And his wheels are impressive. Well, his coaching staff said last week the defense was loose. This time, he just sneaks right through the defense.
Well, let's credit that offensive line. They're able to get some angles, and it allows Kyle Postma to get himself 35 yards down the field and close to the 20-yard line. That ball to 21 now for the Cougars.
Burden lowers his shoulders, and maybe a half a yard for the senior running back from Houston.
Good decision in the pass game today. 8 of 11 for 69 yards, but more importantly on the ground, 54 yards in that 35-yarder there to get Houston in scoring position.
Postma going to the end zone again, and it's too long, looking for Dunbar.
Oh, what a beautiful route on the outside by Dunbar. Little hesitation and go, and he had Derek Thomas beat on the play. Thomas says that was good coverage. I say that was just a bad throw by Postma. If that's on target, that's 6 points, and the scoreboard's lighting up.
The Cougars have been proficient, but also gotten some extra chances. Postma stands tall, escapes the defense, throws to the end zone, but incomplete. Looking for his running back, Burden, his best option. So nothing doing now, 4th and goal.
And Burden was wide open. Credit Kyle Postma for keeping that play alive. He paid the price at the end of it, but I'm sure he would have felt a lot better had that been accurate, because that was a A pitch and catch 6-point opportunity missed, and now the field goal opportunity coming on.
Good from 25 earlier, and now going to try it from 35. And he's 2 for 2. So Houston capitalizing on extra chances, up 2 scores. Here in Philadelphia, as Houston tries to go to 3-1 in their first American Conference game of the year. Caden Novikov, who just knocked in his second field goal of the day, tees it up with Mike Jones and Adonis Jennings back to receive. Right out to the 24-yard line on the return for Temple. Marshy coming into this game just 54% completion rate. See if he can up that on this drive. A dart, and it's picked off at midfield. Houston gets its second interception of the first half. And after a great takeaway on defense, Temple gives it back into the hands of Isaiah Johnson.
Isaiah Johnson, the benefactor of the tip drill. Houston again with great field position, presented with this interception from the defense. Johnson and company in position to score.
Houston's defense with a couple of takeaways, and now the offense trying to take advantage with a minute 15 before halftime, and the ball is at the Temple 40-yard line. Burden comes out of the backfield, and it's a loss of 1 on the opening play on this drive for the Cougars. Houston 2nd and 11 after the loss on first down. Here's the shot we thought they might take. The ball falls incomplete at the 15-yard line. Looking for Bonner.
There's got to be something easier to get to in this Houston offense. A crossing route, some kind of in-bending route over the linebackers where they have inexperience on the Temple Owls defensive side. That's a tough throw what Kyle Postma just tried to complete on second down. So you're looking for something easier, maybe in front of the senior quarterback.
Still 2 timeouts for Postma, making his first start with Houston since 2015. Looking to the slot, it was in between Bonner and De'Aaron King. So they get the turnover, and now 4th and 11, just a minute to go. And they bring the punt team on.
That has to be frustrating for head coach Major Applewhite. You have a chance to go in 20-0 before halftime with the ball and momentum, and getting the ball in the second half. Just didn't take advantage of that interception and the field position.
Did they even take 30 seconds off the clock there? No. Roy's boot too long all the way. And now 52 seconds left for Temple. Marshy drops it off short. David Hood, one of the 2 scholarship running backs available on the roster today, makes the catch. And as much as Temple would love to get down the field and score here, it might be smarter to just play it safe before the half.
It's been a hard-hitting first half, only 13-0. Ed Oliver, we mentioned his injury, hasn't played much in this first half, and by the looks of things, don't expect much in the second half.
Emil Fleming, number 50 in white, has seen the bulk of snaps at the base of that 3-4 defense for Houston.
And Temple may just let this clock run out.
That's the end of the second quarter.
So 13-0 Houston at the half. The Owls have now gone scoreless in 5 of their last 6 quarters. Lots coming your way at the break. Maybe some dancing as well in the studio. Scores, update, features, some highlights right after these messages. We welcome you back to Philadelphia, Lincoln Financial Field, the home of the Temple Owls, who are down 13-0 at at the break against the Houston Cougars with 30 minutes of football to go. Glad to have you back with us, Mike Cousins and John Congemi. With the Houston Cougars in the lead, their defense has gotten the job done, and so has Kyle Postma at quarterback to hold a shutout in the first.
Well, it was a bunch of turnovers and penalties for Temple in the first half. This one, pressure in the pocket. Davis comes up with the interception. You got to fight it off, but what you can't do is turn it over again. This one over the middle, a tip pass that goes right into the arms of Isaiah Johnson. So you take advantage of field position. You get good running from Postma, the quarterback, starting in front of Kyle Allen today. And the only touchdown of the afternoon for Houston is on this reverse to their playmaker, the dynamic Dedrick King. He's able to come inside, go outside on the reverse, and go untouched for 6 points, and that's the 13-0 lead for Houston.
Temple won the opening toss. They got the ball to start the day, and now it's Houston with a flag down on the return. Teams. Here's today's game track, brought to you by Taco Bell, and the difficulties for Temple on the ground have continued here in the first half of this game.
Mike, it really makes it hard for the quarterback, Logan Marshy, when there's no balance in the offense. You go negative yards on the ground. The season average is only at 70 yards. That's 128th in the country coming into this game. You add on the penalties and the turnovers, and you've got a goose egg on the board.
Postma from the shotgun on first down. Ball comes loose and is quickly covered up. Whistle blows it dead. And for Houston, getting the shutout against Temple means it's the first time that the Owls have been shut out in the first half of a game in their last 51 games.
Wow.
You have to go back to when Louisville was a member of the American Athletic Conference, 2013, when these two teams squared off. Dunbar has it, coming inside to make the catch. Goes to the 22-yard line and gets 7, 3rd and short coming up.
There's a battle going on outside as we take a look at Kyle Allen, who's on the sidelines. Kyle Postma, the senior from Katy, Texas, gets the start. Allen, a high percentage, but taking care of the football didn't work out last week against Texas Tech, so he sits where Postma plays today.
Across the middle again, it's Dunbar, who's been sure-handed. The most popular target for Postma, 15 yards to the senior from Metairie, Louisiana.
Battle going on outside between Dunbar and Temple's corner, Mike Jones. They've been going at it all afternoon, matched up at the short side of the field for this 1st and 10.
Postma shakes the shoulders and goes up the sideline to Eric King, who we showed you on that 13-yard touchdown run, the only touchdown of the game. Follows up with a 23-yard reception, and the Cougars are flying downfield to start the 3rd quarter. Postma for Burden. And we've seen a decent mix of both Duke Catalon and Dylan Burden in the game today, but Burden has received the bulk of the carries in favor of Catalon when they have run the ball.
And they've had Postma, as he's 3 for 4 for 45 yards on this drive, add to the rushing total. That's been the difference on the ground for the Cougars.
55 rushing yards for the senior quarterback in the first half. King, a late add to the backfield, is the decoy as Postma adds to his rushing total. Postma came in late last week against Texas Tech. 7.5 minutes to go in the game, down 17. Led them to 2 scoring drives, and that certainly looks like it's played a big part in what Major Applewhite wanted to see out of a quarterback to get the start this week. So now 1st and 10. After his carry, Postma steps up, one-on-one down the sideline, and the pass is incomplete, and there is a late flag. Mike Jones, the cornerback, in coverage on Dunbar. That has been the most intense offense-defense battle today.
Defense, number 10. 15-yard penalty, automatic 1st down.
Mike, as you said, Dunbar and Jones have been going at it all afternoon. This ball slightly underthrown, so Dunbar slows up, and Jones keeps running right through the receiver. Impedes his distance to get back to the football. That's clearly interference.
Postma from the 9-yard line with time off his back foot and into the back corner of the end zone. Linnell Bonner makes the catch. A Houston touchdown from 9 yards out.
And Postma and Bonner make it look easy for Houston. Just an inside corner route, trips to the wide side. The inside receiver is going to be Bonner. All he does is run to the back pylon and had leverage right away over Sean Chandler, the safety.
So the leading receiver in the American Athletic Conference adds to his total, his team leading 3rd touchdown of the year. And the extra point makes it 20-0 Cougars. Temple with work to do in the 3rd. Linnell Bonner with his team-leading 3rd touchdown catch of the year from 9 yards out. Helps Houston extend their lead to 20-0 as the Cougars try to go to 3-1. But they'll go the rest of the way, at least today, without arguably the best defensive tackle in the country in Ed Oliver, who has been ruled out per the school with a knee injury.
Happened early in this football game in the 1st quarter. Ed looks like he's moving okay on the sidelines. It might be a little bit more precautionary than anything.
Well, how about that?
He has that left knee brace on underneath the warm-up suit, so hopefully he'll be ready to go next week.
Yeah, Houston fans thinking, well, this may not be a long-term deal for Oliver, who got hit earlier in the game by the fullback, Nick Sharga. And on the return, Wright brings it out. On 1st down, Armstead goes through the middle, trying to rejuvenate what has been a sleepy rushing start for Temple today, which already came into the game 2nd to last in the country in rushing. However, not a problem for Kareem Hunt.
No, 6 touchdowns, over 400 yards. Look at the yards per play, almost at 10.
And Armstead still chugging as he goes to the Houston 40-yard line. 17 yards for the junior from New Jersey. Used to wear number 25, now wears number 7. That's one of the best honors you can have on Temple, is being a single-digit player. Marshy gets about 6 on 1st down.
This is what Temple needs to do offensively, is play clean. Stay away from the penalties. Put positive plays back to back, and then hit that explosive. Hit that playmaker down the field. Find Isaiah Wright, the guy you want to get the football to down the field.
Armstead on 2nd down. You think back to the 1st half, the most explosive play they had in the 1st half was the 30-yard catch by Keith Kirkwood down at the other end of the field, and it ended up being ruled an incomplete pass.
That's right.
Armstead, the toss, has the 1st down on 3rd and 2, goes airborne inside the 25-yard line.
So, Mike, all runs on this drive to move the football close to the red zone, and they've been successful inside the tackles, outside the tackles, quarterback runs. Armstead's done a nice job.
And now he gets spelled here on the 6th play of the drive with David Hood in at running back. Marshy now to throw. He's going into double coverage, and his pass is incomplete, intended for Ventel Bryan in the end zone.
Yeah, that one was, I believe, a bad read by Marshy. That double coverage to the short side of the field. You've got man-to-man to the wide side, and you've got Isaiah Wright streaking down the middle of the field man-to-man. So I think your chances are a little bit better with no safety over the top to the wide side of the field. So after no interceptions in the first 3 weeks of the season for Marshy,
These last couple of games, USF and now Houston today have proved a little bit more difficult. Hard hit across the middle of the field. Temple fans wanted a flag. They don't get it, and it's an incomplete pass.
Well, Terrell Williams comes over the top of the third receiver to the wide side. It's a blitz from the short side of the field. He's going to close on number 3, that inside slot receiver. Good play through the football. He fights through the back of right.
He was early.
He was early.
So in a game with plenty of flags, that one was missed. Isaiah Wright was looking for the football.
Well, after running the football with such great success, 3 passes in a row fall incomplete. And that's going to bring on the field goal unit. That's where you have to cash in if you're Temple. You're down 13-0 before halftime. Now it's 20. You have to be able to get 7 points on the board instead of settling for a 40-yard opportunity.
That's the try for Brumeri. They like his distance. He'd split time with Austin Jones as the kicker this year, but he's atop the depth chart coming into this game. And his kick is good, which gets Temple on the board. It wasn't meant to be for a touchdown, but Temple's down 17. Houston's got the lead. They want to leave Philadelphia feeling like a champion. Both hands in the air. That looks like a young John Congemi.
Yeah, I wish.
My cousins, John Congemi, here in Philadelphia with you. Geoff Collins trying to get his team to 3-2 as they play their second conference game of the year. 0-1 in the American with a loss last week against USF. 40-yard field goal. Their score, pressed up tight with just one safety. De'Aaron King out of the backfield makes the catch and has another first down. Both teams similar in what they want to do, whether it's been Isaiah Wright for Temple or De'Aaron King, 2 guys who they can move all over the field. They can take direct snaps. They can play wide receiver. They're both fast, and King has just been the more effective of the 2 today.
Get their playmakers in space. Man coverage here. I wouldn't be surprised if Postma takes a shot down the field.
Instead of handing it off, he runs it himself and goes into Temple territory. Goes to King, who gets just to the line of scrimmage and maybe a step further. So 3rd and 19, 3rd and 20 on deck for the Cougars. They've been strong on 3rd down today, 5 of 9, as they've worked to a 20-3 lead with 5:40 to go in the 3rd quarter in Philadelphia.
This is where the senior quarterback doesn't want to get greedy. You want to play field position. You have a comfortable 20-3 lead. If it's there, you take it, but you don't want to get greedy down the field.
Postma, the former wide receiver, back to throw, and it's King, who's got speed and some space. He goes down at the 41-yard line. So after all that, it's right back to the original line of scrimmage and 4th down with the punt team likely to come on.
So a penalty forces Houston backwards. Temple does a good job of coming up and tackling, and now they should get the football back with under 5 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter.
Jones inside the 10. Dane Roy on the roster, the punter, listed as a sophomore, although that would be a little bit deceiving. His kick bounces around at the 15-yard line. Because here's a guy who is in some cases 10 years older than some of his teammates. 28 years old, originally from Australia, and has a job that you wish you once had at one point in your life.
I do. I was I wasn't hired. When I applied for my ice cream job, they fired. Before I was hired, I was fired.
You can't eat all the product.
I know.
Otherwise you're not going to make any money. And Major Applewhite, who is 39, so you have an 11-year age gap between Dane Roy and Major Applewhite, says his favorite part of doing bed checks in the hotel every night before a game is he always knows he's going to get a good dad joke from Dane Roy at night.
That's great.
Although that does raise the question, is there such a thing as a good dad joke?
Depends who's asking.
Depends on your sense of humor,
That's
I
right.
suppose. David Hood to carry for Temple on first down after the punt.
Temple's done a better job in the third quarter on first down. Staying away from the negative plays, getting positive yards, and trying to get a little bit more momentum in this offense.
The sun has come out here in Philadelphia, and perhaps now a bright spot for the Temple offense. Randall Jones cuts across the middle, picks up 20 quickly.
Wide open and a good throw, good pocket to perform from by Marshy. Strike right in the middle of the 8-1 to Jones.
No Ed Oliver at nose tackle the rest of the way for Houston, which is welcome news on the comeback trail for Temple. Hood at running back again. As we mentioned, if you didn't join us at the beginning of the game, a banged up offensive line, and now down one starter on the defensive line. There's Oliver, who we saw out with a knee injury, although he was jumping up and down, so it doesn't look to be a severe injury, but certainly bad enough to keep him out for the rest of the game. But down two starters at both guard spots today to begin the game for Temple. Marshy tosses on 2nd and 5. Blocking clears the way for David Hood.
Ball came loose at the end, but it looked like it went out of bounds and a Temple player on it. But you mentioned Randall Jones was the wide receiver, 81 to the outside. He gets a great cut block out on the edge. Right there, it looked like it was on Khalil Williams, and that allowed the Temple running back, Hood, to get outside. Fortunately, that ball bounces out of bounds for Temple.
Armstead now from the backfield. Goes across the 30, still on his feet, and dragged down inside the 20-yard line. All of a sudden, some juice for Temple, where they had struggled all day running the football.
19 yards on that one for Armstead, and you're right. They've been going backwards in the first half. Just a terrific job of running the football in this third quarter.
Just the second time Temple's been in the red zone today. Down by 17, but with plenty of time to play here on their home field.
Can they finish? That's the big question. Can Temple get the ball in the end zone and not settle for another field goal?
How about this? -8 rushing yards in the first half. Coming into the game, they only averaged 70, which is 128 out of 129 teams in the country.
It hasn't been pretty offensively on the ground for Temple, but in this third quarter, they've done a nice job.
And it's Hood bursting his way down inside the 10-yard line.
And the ball came out late there. I think Temple gets back on it. It was a spin move right at the end of the play. It looked like Freddie Johnson, the wide receiver, possibly got on the football. Let's watch Hood at the end of this run. Big time hit there on the outside.
Whoa, right place, right time for Johnson.
Absolutely. Winchester with the shoulder on the football, but Temple is going to retain possession inside the 10.
On 1st and goal with lowered shoulders. Armstead crouches at the 5. A defining drive of this game for Temple, because 20-10 looks a lot easier in the fourth quarter than 20-6.
Temple's been running the football so effectively. A fake play action to right coming out here would be perfect.
On the drop-off toward the goal line. And it's a touchdown. Chris Myrick, the tight end, just his second catch of the year, got a scholarship this spring and brings the value to fruition here on a fall Saturday.
Marchie does a great job of extending this play after play action. Looks like he stays in bounds. I'm not so sure that ball broke the plane inbounds. The officials may be taking another look at this one. It looks like, well, I don't know. I take that back. That reach of the arm by Myrick might have broke the plane.
The runner's foot stepped out of bounds prior to the ball crossing the goal line. It'll be 3rd and goal from the half-yard line. Clock will start on my signal.
Was the evidence indisputable? I don't know, but you can see certainly where there's a case for that.
Yes. Terrific job by Myrick to catch the football, stay in bounds, and then extend the right arm and the football to try to break the plane of the goal line. There's the foot. From there, it looks like the officials made the right call, but on the field, that is so quick.
Hood is back deep. Nick Sharga is the fullback for the Owls. Marshy gives it up for Sharga, and he's pushed back at the goal line.
What a defensive stand.
That's the end of the 3rd quarter. 4th down.
Coming into this game, Nick Sharga had the only rushing touchdown of the year for Temple. They've got one more shot at the goal line to start the 4th quarter. Temple with a 4th and goal, down 20-7 to start the 4th quarter here in Philadelphia. They've given up 11 rushing touchdowns. The only rushing touchdown this year belongs to the fullback for Geoff Collins, Nick Sharga. He got the call on 3rd down and got stood up. Now Sharga off to the left. Hood is the running back. On the roll, the pitch. And he's in. The 2nd rushing touchdown of the year for Temple comes on 4th and goal.
Really nice design. They shift right before they snap the football. You get one player on an island in the option play, and that's Terrell Williams. He doesn't know to come up on the quarterback or take the pitch man, David Hood. Good decision in the run game by Marchie. Gets it out to Hood, and Temple's an extra point away from making this a football game.
Bumeri the extra point. Houston 20, Temple 10, early 4th. Temple's first touchdown on offense in the last couple weeks makes it a 20-10 game, just 7 seconds gone here in the 4th quarter. David Hood completes the longest drive of the day for the Owls. 11 plays, 85 yards, just over 4.5 minutes. They still do just have one rushing touchdown this year, though. That pitch from Marshy, officially a forward pass to complete the scoring drive.
And Mike, what a difference between the first half and the second half offensively for the Temple Owls.
Just the way they were able to run the ball on that drive was night and day from what you saw in the first 2 quarters. Give it up to Catalan. The Owls all over it.
Positive play gets contagious. When the offense turns it up, the defense will answer, and the defense answering on that first down play from the Temple front 7.
Bottom of your screen, number 88 in white, Stephen Dunbar matched up with Mike Jones. It's been an interesting battle to watch all day. Dunbar clears out as the throw goes short for Catalan to set up 3rd down.
minimal gain on second down, and all you had to do was play leverage if you were Finch on the outside. Nowhere to go with the football for Catalan. Now 3rd and very long for the Cougars offensively. If you're Temple, you just have to keep everything in front of you. Stay away from the pass interference. Stay away from the stupid penalties that have hindered their progression in the first half.
Postma pressured. And he goes down at the 12-yard line. Taylor bringing the pressure initially. Temple gets exactly what it wants to start the 4th quarter.
That was the best set of downs for the Temple defense in this second half. They were able to really force Postma and company to no green grass. They just force him out of bounds to the short side, and Houston lucky that wasn't called behind the play by Rogers, the right tackle, after the whistle.
Just the second time the Cougars have gone 3 and out this afternoon. Roy back at the end zone. And a whole lot of leg into that one. Quick target and in and out of the hands of Adonis Jennings.
Tough catch, but one of those that you have to make to keep that momentum on your side. It could have been a better throw by Marshy, but also you're hoping your wide out Jennings can help you out on that first down opportunity.
On second down, Hood gets a few, and they've only been playing with 2 scholarship running backs today. Jagger Gardner, who was on crutches during the week, ruled out. So it's been Armstead and Hood, the redshirt junior from Galloway, New Jersey. 3rd down and 5. Marshy with a quick drop off, a leading throw for Hood, and he's spotted 1 yard shy of the first down.
It looks like Temple's going to keep their offense on the field. Head coach Geoff Collins not afraid to go for it here on 4th down. 4th and 1.
It's a keeper and a slide. Good spot. Now there's a flag, and that could be a late hit. He gave himself up with the slide, and the defense can't touch him after that.
That was a quick decision by Marshy to go into that baseball slide. Looked like he just got enough yards for the first down, but you're right, that could have been a penalty with a defenseless player.
After the play, personal foul, defense, number 2, late hit, 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
Anytime a runner goes into that feet first slide, and as a defender you have contact, that's going to draw the penalty every time.
I think that's one where Khalil Williams,
he was already committed before the slide started.
He's going to say, what can I do there?
Yeah, I know that, but that's the rule.
It's a good thing everything doesn't work that way. Otherwise, we'd all have a lot more speeding tickets.
That's true. Houston has to stop the speeding of this Temple offense right now.
Looking to go deep, and the pass is picked off. Garrett Davis has his 2nd interception of the day, but there is a flag down at the 15-yard line on the route run by Kirkwood.
This may be holding, defensive holding.
Holding, defense, number 1, 10-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
So Davis thought he had the interception, but he also had the penalty which preceded it.
I'm not so sure this might be on Johnson on the outside, because Davis had the interception. I think they caught Isaiah Johnson on the outside, the corner, for the hold.
You're right. So number 14, Isaiah Johnson. Both have picked off passes today, but it's Johnson, the junior from Bryan, Texas, called for the penalty, and it makes it 1st and 10 at the Houston 15. Hood lowers the shoulders for a couple. Leon Johnson there, 53 for Temple, getting up, just trying to defend his teammates, going, hey, don't throw a flag on me.
That's right. I'm just finishing the play. Whenever you have these red zone opportunities, you want to come away with points. You'd love to get 7, but you have to come away with points here. And Temple's been so effective running the football in the second half, you'd have to think they're going to, at some point, play action.
Marshy to pass, going to the end zone, and almost intercepted again by Davis.
Boy, and Garrett Davis has to just shake his head. It looked like Marchie threw it right at the defender. This is a corner route to the short side. Nice protection. Plenty of time to throw the football. That's just not a good decision. And Davis just gave Temple and their offense another opportunity on third down from about the 13-yard line. Let's see if Temple can make this Houston defense pay.
Marshy rolls. Now will he throw? Instead, he settles between the hash marks. Didn't look like that play went nearly according to plan for the Owls.
It didn't. They tried to move the pocket to the wide side, and let's credit the speed and awareness of the Cougars defensively. They were able to get upfield, make the quarterback cut back inside where a lot of white jerseys were coming to help.
Boumeri on the try to make it a touchdown difference from 30. A 7-point game. 8:47 left in the fourth. Houston on offense when we come back to Philly. Your Houston and your Philadelphia connection, Moses Malone and Charles Barkley, when he got drafted in '84, got taken under the wing. Helped him drop from about 300 pounds down to 255 to go on to his great career. Temple has looked like a vastly different team for Geoff Collins from the first half to the second half, and especially these last 3 drives.
Well, Mike, the difference is they've been able to run the football, stay away from the penalties. In the first half, they had -8 yards rushing. In the second half, 107 yards rushing. So that's why they've been so effective staying on the field, and it results in points on the scoreboard.
So now the defense has to make a stand again here inside 9 minutes. Catalan off to the left side. Across the 40, still standing. First down and then some for Duke Catalan.
Now, if you're Houston, you don't want to go that fast right now. You've got a 20-13 lead. You're rushing up to the line of scrimmage. I know that's how you play football, but you want to limit the time of possession that's left in this game. There you go. Take your time.
Postma, a shake, a throw, and a near interception by Sean Chandler.
Boy, what a great job by Stephen Dunbar on the outside. I mean, this is interception. This one had interception written all over it. They have a short corner that's sinking. You got a safety coming off the hash. He's waiting to intercept this football. Sean Chandler had it in his sights the entire way, staring down at Kyle Postma, but Dunbar turned from offense to defense to break that up.
13, not the lucky number for Postma. His string of 12 straight completions comes to an end. And he goes for King out at midfield. Another money down for the Temple defense. They're on 3rd down, trying to get the ball back and tie this game.
We have not mentioned King or Bonner in this 4th quarter. They have to try to get the ball to their playmakers. That's 15 and 4 in white. Got to try to find him on 3rd down.
Can he run for a second straight first down? Not this time. Wrapped up at midfield and taken down by Isaiah Graham-Mobley. Backup middle linebacker replacing Bradley, who was ejected, and a huge play to bring up fourth down.
Too many Temple Owls in the box, about 3 or 4 yards from the line of scrimmage that time for Kyle Postma to try to elude. Good defensive stand by Temple. They're going to get the football back with just over 5 minutes to go in this football game.
And they'll have to move from inside the 10-yard line. 42-yard boot for Dane Roy. 5:15 to go for Temple. On a slant ball, tipped, incomplete. What a dangerous play, and a tip ball has been the biggest enemy of Logan Marshy today.
Marshy threw a strike on the quick slant to the short side of the field. It looked like it went right through the hands and off the helmet of Randall Jones. The ball's going to just float forever, and it looked like
3:13 left in the fourth quarter in Philadelphia. Big run and a big hit out to the 30-yard line. Trayvon Williams collides with Garrett Davis. First down.
Trayvon Williams, one of those running backs that hasn't been used much in the Owl offense today. He finished that run to get the ball to the 31-yard line.
Marshy with a decision to make and turned back. Didn't like his option with Armstead.
Now Temple needs to have a little bit more urgency in getting to the line of scrimmage. I realize that they have 3 timeouts remaining, but you don't want to get under 2 minutes and have to waste a couple until you need them.
Here comes pressure, and he makes a good call. Armstead out of the backfield. Last week, Temple played 3 different quarterbacks against USF. A combined 7 for 25, 4 interceptions, and Marshy has played much cooler, much calmer today.
He has, and he's done that. Last week, it wasn't their week going down and facing the speed and defense from South Florida.
Got plenty of time in the pocket. Beautiful ball delivered out to the 40. Wright had it, lost it.
That's one of the guys you wanted to get the football to in space, Isaiah Wright. This is a good throw, good protection in the pocket. And this was one of those chunk yardage plays you're looking for, because Temple took over the football with 3 minutes on the clock, and they've only been able to go 30 yards, and now there's 1:55 on the clock. So those are the types of plays that help you out in closing the game.
Tight coverage intended for Wright again. So it's 3rd down and 10. Just 1:51 to go, with Temple needing a touchdown to tie the game. If Temple can come back and win this thing, they'll go to 3-2. But if Houston emerges the victor, they improve to 3-1.
Can that offensive line hold up here? Give enough time for Logan to sit in the pocket cleanly and scan the defensive secondary.
On the toss, Hood is taken down quickly.
You're going to have to call a timeout. You have to. What?
Temple.
I don't like that call. I don't like that call at all on 3rd down.
3rd down and 10. Where are you going?
Yeah. 4 yards. This one very important.
Marshy needs to throw long for a first down, and he throws too high, intended for Armstead. A turnover on downs, and Houston has victory in its sights with a 7-point lead and 1:37 to go.
I just think Temple and Logan Marshy would have rather had 2 cracks on 3rd and 4th down instead of depending on this play and checking the football down. Good protection in the pocket. At some point, you've got to hope that you convert on 4th down again. And head coach Geoff Collins knows he just missed. And on the other side, celebration because the defense found a way to get off the field.
Still 2 timeouts for Temple. Catalan dragging defenders with him. Gets 8, maybe 9 on the first snap of this drive.
Timeout. Temple. Their second timeout.
Temple's just got 1 timeout.
30-second timeout.
Major Applewhite said between Kyle Allen and Kyle Postma, whoever took care of the ball better was going to be the guy. Didn't expect it necessarily to be Postma today, but he has been smart with the ball, has been a good runner with the ball, and has been complemented nicely by both Burden and Catalan here, who
timeout by
goes backwards.
Temple. It's their 3rd and final timeout of the half.
And Temple uses its last.
Now you have to make a decision if you're Houston. Do you use quarterback run to keep the clock going and put it on your defense, or do you try to go to the air with risking stopping the clock? I think it's quarterback run, yep.
Postma uses Catalan as a lead blocker.
Keep that clock. I think that's the most important thing, Mike. Excuse me. Keeping that clock running for Houston rather than risking the 1st down. Make Temple use field position here with your kicking team. Make Temple go 80+, 90+ yards if you can.
By the time.
Well, if you're head coach Major Applewhite, you're telling your kicker anything inside the 20 is a plus.
And he delivers it
beautiful
toward
kick.
the corner and out of bounds, spotted at the 9-yard line. Taking 5 seconds off the clock along with him. So Temple has 30 seconds, no timeouts. Marshy with 5 receivers, steps up in the pocket, looks toward the sideline, and Adonis Jennings makes the catch. And they move the chains. Just 5 seconds coming off the clock on that big chunk.
Boy, a great throw from the pocket by Logan Marshy. Did a great job of just throwing it over coverage, over the linebacker Williams, who was outside the numbers. Exactly what they wanted on 1st down.
Late blitz, a 4-man rush. A sprint toward the sidelines. And the clock continues to wind. Wright was taken down inbounds.
And all Wright had to do was go forward 1 yard and fall down. The clock would have stopped.
Instead, now there's probably only time for about 1 more snap and a long distance heave for Temple.
Yeah, all Wright needed to do was get ahead of the chains, go 11 yards and fall down. You would have been able to stop the clock, get your team up and spike it, or take a shot without all this time coming off the clock.
Timeout.
So 1 last chance here for Temple. And a heave to the 10-yard line. And the ball is intercepted. 2nd of the day for Garrett Davis. 3rd pick of the afternoon by the Cougars defense. And interceptions bring the game to an end quite fittingly, proven to be the biggest difference today for Houston and Temple.
Well, they found a way to win. Head coach Major Applewhite has to be happy with his quarterback, Kyle Postma, coming in and protecting the football for the most part. Better in the 1st half as a team than they were in the 2nd half. And for Geoff Collins, I think their offense woke up in the 2nd half. They were able to run the football. They got a good play from Logan Marshy. They were able to get more playmakers involved. They played tough and aggressive on defense, Mike. So there's a lot for both of these teams, a lot of coaching points to look to, but a lot of encouraging signs as well.
Postma managed this one well, making his first start for Houston since a loss against UConn in 2015 and delivering them a win as Houston improves to 3-1 and Temple drops to 2-3. Questions still for Houston about the health of Ed Oliver. We'll see what happens with him going throughout the next week, but the Cougars will go home happy as a winner. So Houston takes it 2013. Thanks to go around our production team led by Eric Posman, statistician John Tobias, spotter Chris Taylor, and for my partner John Kajemi, I'm Mike Cousins on behalf of our entire crew here in Philadelphia saying thanks for watching.